Cambodia's former king, Norodom Sihanouk, who played an important role in events in Southeast Asia for more than half a century, has died in Beijing. The 89-year-old former monarch was a pivotal figure in Cambodian public life, reigning as king and serving as prime minister before 2 decades of turmoil in which he was both an ally and a prisoner of the Khmer Rouge.
He was one of Asia's longest-serving monarchs. In 1941, the Nazi-controlled Vichy government in France crowned Norodom Sihanouk King of Cambodia, bypassing his father. At only 18 years old, it hoped he'd be easy to manipulate. But in 1955, he helped lead his country to independence from France, and then abdicated in favour of his father. He took up the position of Prime Minister, but was criticised for being elitist, autocratic and volatile. He made too many enemies and in 1970 was ousted from power in a military coup. He left Cambodia and founded a government in exile in Beijing. In opposing the country's new military leaders, he shared a common enemy with the Khmer Rouge. Seen here greeting its leaders, he lent them his support and paved the way for the communist group to take power in 1975. Sihanouk was made head of state, but the title meant little. He found himself prisoner in his own palace as Pol Pot's regime began massacring Cambodians. When the Khmer Rouge regime fell in 1979, Sihanouk found himself again exiled in Beijing. He returned to Cambodia in 1991 and was back on the throne by 1993. In 2004, he abdicated again, this time so his son could become king. A polygamist, Sihanouk had 6 wives and 14 children, 5 of whom were killed by the Khmer Rouge.
In what was called Year Zero, the Khmer Rouge initiated policies that would kill nearly 2 million people and drive the economy back to the Stone Age. They turned on Sihanouk and threatened to kill him. 3 years later, a united communist Vietnam invaded Cambodia and drove the Khmer Rouge from power, allowing Sihanouk to flee into exile. A peace deal in 1991 allowed him to return. Fated by his people, Sihanouk was declared king once more in 1993. But by this stage, his health had worsened, and he was a frequent visitor to China for treatment. Over the next decade, his public appearances dwindled, and by 2004, he had abdicated in favour of his son. Sihanouk once said that all Cambodians were his children. He served them as king twice. But he will also be remembered for an alliance with the Khmer Rouge, which led to a Holocaust in his own country.